Unstoppable by Sia. It's a really neat song, and it's fairly easy. There's a couple of bar chords in it, but we'll get to that. And there's some interesting little like strum rhythms and strum patterns that we can use, because there's not really a strong guitar sound in it. In fact, I'm not hearing really any guitar at all. But chords are chords, so we can play the chords and everything. That's not a problem. And it actually sounds really good on guitar. I wrote it all out. That's why I keep glancing over here, because I have it all written out on my computer screen, laptop screen. But anyway, it's pretty easy with some interesting strum patterns that we can kind of add in, because since there is really no guitar, we can kind of do whatever we want, because we're just making it up sort of, for guitar. But we can do some strum patterns that I came up with a few that I think sort of make sense with the song, and we'll talk about how to use those for the different parts of the song to give the different parts certain feels. So, the verse versus the chorus, you want the verse to sound one way and you want the chorus to sound another way, things like that, and then the bridge part stuff. So we'll get to it. And there's an interesting little thing where we're going to do a harmonic that I'll explain how to do, but it's kind of a fun little thing. It's just a little synthesizer keyboard note that's like bing, but we can actually do it on guitar and it sounds kind of neat. It's a little tricky, but no problem. So the chords are F sharp minor, okay, and the F sharp minor is a bar chord. So what I'm doing is, with my first finger, I'm pressing against the 2nd fret, okay, and I'm holding down all 6 strings. Then, with my 3rd and 4th fingers, I'm pressing down on the 4th fret of the A and the D strings. So from thickest to thinnest strings, it's 2, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. Okay? And for a lot of it, I'm just playing like, 3 notes, maybe, about 3 notes. The D, the G, and the B strings. Okay? And what I'm doing to sort of get a certain feel is plucking with my right hand. So thumb and 2 fingers. If I pluck those strings more or less at the same time, it has a little bit of a kind of keyboard or synthesizer type feel to it, because if I strum them, no matter how fast I strum them, they're still one at a time. They're still one at a time. If I pluck them, then I can get the notes to come out all at the exact same time, which sounds a little bit different. So anyway, so the chords. So that's the F sharp minor. Then the D. Okay, we can just play it standard open D. So the D string is 0. The G is 2nd fret. The B is 3rd fret, and the high E is 2nd fret. Okay, for that you can also thumb and fingers pluck. And then A, so nothing on the lowest string, the open A string, then 2nd fret, 2nd fret, 2nd fret on the D, G, and B, and then open high E. Okay, but if we're just using thumb and fingers, we can really just kind of do those 4 middle strings, the A, D, G, and B, to get the A chord. Then the C sharp minor is another bar chord, and here I'm not playing the thickest string, so I'm taking my first finger across all the strings at the 4th fret, except for the low E string, so across those 5 strings. And then with my 3 remaining fingers, my first finger is at the 5th fret of the B string, and then my 3rd and 4th fingers are at the 6th fret of the D and G. If that makes sense. I think it makes sense in my head. So, nothing on the low E, and then it's 4, 6, 6, 5, 4. 4, 6, 6, 5, 4 are the frets, and that's the C sharp minor. Then it also has a C sharp major, which is usually just written as C, number sign or sharp sign or hashtag, whatever you want to call it. And then the minor is C sharp with a lowercase m. Then the C sharp major is usually just C with the sharp sign, the hashtag, number sign, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so C sharp minor, and then the C sharp is actually this finger here that's holding down the 5th fret on the B string goes up to the 6th fret on the B string. So C sharp minor is C sharp major is, it's just that one note difference. And when we're actually doing the song, when it happens, I was listening to it and there's no guitar that I can hear. It's synthesizer, and there's a bass part. I'm guessing it's a bass synthesizer, but the bass part is the part that's sort of changing the chord. So the bass part is doing for the C sharp minor, it's playing an E. So it's really like a C sharp minor / E chord. But we're not going to worry about that. Okay. Then when it does the C sharp, the major, it goes to an F. So that's the E, and then to an F is what makes the C sharp minor the C sharp major. Okay, then it goes to the F sharp minor, is the next chord, which is there. So my point being, it almost sounds like it's sort of like a C sharp minor / E, then maybe a C sharp 5 chord / F, sort of, which sort of ends up making it a C sharp major. But anyway, the way that I'm going to do it is, it sounds actually kind of nice, but you want to make sure that you do get that note that changes, because if not, then it just sounds like you're going, and the chord isn't really changing instead of. Okay, so you have to make sure you get that note. So anyway, the intro, F sharp minor. Okay, and again, I'm just sort of plucking 3 strings with the F sharp on the D string as the lowest note. So, but you can strum the whole thing if you wanted. Okay, and these are whole notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. C sharp minor, 2, 3. Okay, and then it stops. It only does a half note for that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the intro is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then on the and after 4, there's this little note. Okay, and it's a high-pitched F sharp. But you can do it by playing a harmonic at the 7th fret of the B string. Okay, so what you want to do is directly over the metal fret. Okay, normally to play the 7th fret, you would press behind the fret. Directly over it, you touch the string, but don't press down. Just touch it, and then pluck that string. Okay? And the note that you get is actually an F sharp note. Okay, and that's the note when you listen to the song that goes bing. So it's on the and after the 4. So you end up with 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then we go into the verse. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's the verse is just like the intro. A, 2, 3, and 4. C sharp minor, 2, 10. F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. C sharp minor, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Easy enough, right? And, you know, as usual with all of these, it will all be written out underneath, you know, so that you can follow it all, print it out, whatever, copy and paste, print it, whatever you want to do. Okay, then we have the pre-chorus, okay, and the verse, again, was whole notes, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you just let the chord go. Oh, and by the way, the tempo for this is like 86-ish, 87-ish beats per minute, somewhere around there. You know, it's hard to just sort of like guesstimate, but I just sort of guesstimated. You know, we checked it with an actual metronome. I didn't just randomly, you know, go like 86.3. It's something, but I checked with the metronome and it seemed 87 was a little fast and 86 was a little tiny bit slow. So it's somewhere around there, but you know, it doesn't matter. We're going to get to working with a metronome in a few. So, the pre-chorus. Okay, now the chords are only 2 beats each. Okay, so they change twice as fast. Okay, and I think for the pre-chorus, it sounds kind of neat if we strum 16th notes. So the way to count that, so the D would be 1, 2, the E would be 1, 2. There's another chord, E. E is the lowest string, open, then the A string, 2nd fret, 1st fret, open, open, is E. Sorry about that, I didn't realize that there was that other chord. So, so the pre-chorus is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, why did I play a D? The pre-chorus is D, E, C sharp minor, D, E, C sharp minor, and then it stops. It goes into the chorus. So the pre-chorus, I think, if we strum it as 16th notes, so 1 and so 1 and 2 and so he does. You can actually. I keep saying he. I don't know who's playing on this song. You do play the C sharp minor once and then stop at the end of the little pre-chorus. So it ends up being like 1 and 2 and 3. So D, E, C sharp minor, D, E, C sharp minor, C sharp minor. Then we get to the chorus, and for this, it seems quarter note strumming kind of went well with that. So 1, 2, 3, so 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, C sharp minor, C sharp, then F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, A, 2, 3, 4, C sharp minor, 2, 3. Actually, not 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2. And it stops for the 3 and the 4, so it only does 2. So 1, 2, 3. then we go to the verse again. We get to the verse again, and it's the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. C sharp minor 2, 3, 4. F sharp minor 2, 3, 4. D, 2, 3, 4. A, 2, 3, 4. C sharp minor 2, 3, 4. Then the pre-chorus. D, E, C sharp minor, D, E, C sharp minor, with a stop. Then the chorus, and this time the chorus is slightly different. The first time the chorus went through the chord progression essentially 3 times. This time it now goes 4 times. Okay, so it's F sharp minor, D, C sharp minor, C, F sharp minor, D, A, C sharp minor, and then there's a stop, then F sharp minor, and the stop stays in time. A, C sharp minor, C sharp, F sharp minor, D, C sharp minor, C sharp. Okay, then we have the pre-chorus / bridge. It's really the bridge, but it's the same chords and everything as the pre-chorus. It's all the same, but since there's such a drastic change in feel, then I'd call it the bridge, and where it happens in the song and stuff like that. Okay, so D, and I would do half note strums. They're 2 beats each, so D, so 1, 2, E, C sharp minor, D, E, C sharp minor. Okay, there's that stop, like has been happening in the pre-chorus. Yeah, it has been happening in the pre-chorus, but here it's an additional 2 beats. Okay, so the pre-chorus ends up being 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I would count the chord as 2 and then the pause as 4. But you could 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So I just, instead of counting 2 and 4, I counted 4 and 2, whatever. Okay, then it goes right into the chorus. Okay, and now it seems the rhythm is now matching what the drums had been doing previously. Okay, and that rhythm is a little more sort of complex. Okay, I wrote it out. It's a dotted 8th note, then a 16th note, then a quarter note. Okay, so a dotted 8th note is 3/4 of a beat, and then a 16th note is 1/4 of a beat. Okay, so if you count it, usually people count it as 1 E and a, 1 E and a. So one beat is broken up into 4 parts. 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So I was just strumming quarter notes. 1 E and a, 2 E and a. Okay, but the E and a, 1 E and a, breaks each beat into 4 sections, 4 portions. So the strum actually ends up being 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E and a. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a. So the first one is 1 E and a is the next strum. So 3/4 and then 1/4. And then 2 E and a, the full thing. So 1 E and a, 2 E and a, 3 E and a, 4 E. So that's the rhythm that seems to work for that last chorus. Okay, and then the last chorus does it 4 times through the chord progression. So F sharp minor, D, A, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, D, A, C sharp minor, and then a stop. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a with the stop. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2. So, the third time through, if I haven't confused you already. And there, I don't really hear the bass hitting that F. It sort of sounds like there's a chord that does go up to there is a note, sounds like somewhere in there buried, that does make it a C sharp, but I'm not completely convinced. So, you know, we can just leave it as the C sharp minor, or you could do the C sharp major, whatever. As long as if you're playing with anyone else, you clue them in. Because if you play the C sharp minor and they play C sharp major, you get those 2 notes that go together, okay? And both together end up sounding not good. Okay, that's an E and an E together. Okay, now an E and an F here. Not so good. So, whatever you want to do, make sure that everyone, if you're playing with anybody, is all on board with whatever you're going to do. Oh, and then it goes the F sharp minor on the first beat again. So the final chorus is the last line. So, pretty easy. I'm sure that you can handle it. I hope I didn't make it more complicated than it needs to be. But I figured I wanted to, you know, sort of explain everything. Okay, so now really quickly let's talk about working with a metronome. Okay, so with the metronome, if you ever go click, 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 click at say 87 or 86, whatever, okay, then the whole notes click, 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 click. Okay, easy. Well, that last was half notes, 2 beats, 2, 1, 2. Okay, then the 16th notes would just be 1 and a 2, 1 and a 2, yeah, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 5 and a 2 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 click, 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 click. Easy. You just strum right on the beat. Okay. Then the dotted eighth note, 16th note, quarter note deal for the last chorus. Okay, it ends up being click, 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 click. Okay, so click, switched the chord too quick, but you get the idea. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. And that is Unstoppable by Sia. It's a pretty neat song. You know, with some neat little things like the harmonic in it, some different strumming patterns, a different way to pick the chords at the beginning. Okay, and I find with fingers, it's nice because you can really change the dynamics, the loudness, the sort of sound of the notes and the chords, so you can pluck them hard, pluck them soft. You can just get a little more control over the little fancy bits of each note, I guess. You know, the nuances of each note, just sort of the vibe of each note, how each note really kind of feels. But anyway, it's a cool song with a lot of different stuff in it, so hope it was fun.